Today, we are going to be making another Barnes& and Nobles kit and seeing if it's actually worth buying. Welcome back to my channel. Recently, I've been looking for a new project to do, and I've always wanted to try making clay. If you missed my last unboxing video where I opened a Barnes& and Nobles kit, you can go ahead and check it out. But for today's video, I found this craft maker kit and decided why not? It looked pretty cute and it was only $12. So I ordered it and now I'm going to go unbox it. Opening the box, I see that it came with a sponge, underglaze, glaze, clay, and a wooden tool. Looking at the instructions, it goes over the different types of clay and drying processes. For this video, we are going to be air drying the clay. In this kit, you have the choice of making a rustic jug, jewelry dishes, or a quirky mug. Today, we are going to be making the jewelry dishes. First, I'm kneading the clay to make it easier to work with. Then, you have to roll it out and make it flat. The instructions also say to use the wooden tool that it provided to carve out a circle, but that didn't work very well for me, so I used a crafting razor instead, which was much easier. After making my shapes, I am then removing the excess clay to save for later, because we don't want that clay to dry up. The directions then say to pinch the sides to make the edges rounded. I'm also using water here to go along the edges because I found that it makes the clay a lot smoother. After I finished making this larger piece, I moved it to the side to dry for about 24 hours. Then, with the smaller circle, you pretty much do the same thing, except I thought it was a good idea to use this cute little mug to shape it. I didn't think that the clay would stick to the mug, but it did because it was too wet, so I ended up having to remake the circle. But that's okay. The good thing about clay is that you can remake your shape as many times as you want. Yeah, anyways, that was a struggle. My clay just couldn't hold it together. I used my hands to shape it this time and used a brush to make the bowl smoother. And then I let it dry for a few days, and here's how the dried clay turned out. But the clay cracked. I accidentally dropped it, but that's okay. You know what? This is fun, you guys. So the instructions don't say to do this, but I wanted to make it extra smooth. So I used some leftover sandpaper that I had and did the same thing for the little ring bowl. I was trying very careful here not to crack the clay anymore. So the instructions don't say how to add designs or give you any more materials for it, so I just painted a flower that I had and hoped for the best. I also tried to make it more flower-like by painting over it, but ultimately decided to just paint over it with white paint.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
So, for the design of this trinket dish, I decided to keep it nice and simple and paint a blue border to match the blue little flower. I liked this color and decided to also paint the little ring bowl the same color. I didn't know if I should just leave the bowl one solid color or paint a little design in it, so I just went with painting a little white flower to complement the little blue flower in the larger dish. I felt like these clay dishes were missing something, so I added a white border to the smaller ring bowl and then wanted to add some sparkle. I mixed equal parts of this sparkle paint and Mod Podge, which the kit does not come with, by the way. I had to use my own supplies for the painting and sealing part because I decided not to fire the clay. I air dried the clay instead of firing it. But this part was super fun, and here's how they came out. I had so much fun with this one. For it being air dried clay, I think it came out pretty well. With my leftover clay, I decided to make a keychain. I rolled out the clay and carved out some circles and shapes. As someone who doesn't have any previous clay experience, I think that practicing clay shapes and cutting out the different shapes did help me get used to the behavior of clay. And once I got my clay circles down, I was pretty proud of myself and how they turned out. I wanted to try adding another flower design to my clay, so I tried smushing it into my wet clay. And then I tried it with a different flower this time. You know what? Maybe I'm thinking that clay and flowers don't mix very well. I think that this clay kit was super fun, and for me, practicing cutting out the shapes helped me the most. And of course, cracking the clay. On a serious note though, if you do want to start getting into clay, this kit was very informational. However, you could just buy your own block of clay and go on YouTube to watch tutorials. So now I'm going to be rating this kit based off of 5. For fun, I'm going to be giving this kit a 3 out of 5. Not gonna lie, this wasn't my favorite, but maybe that's because I'm not really a clay gal. Yet. I'll get there, but not today. For difficulty, I'm giving this a 3 out of 5 as well. It wasn't terribly hard, but it does take a bit of time to learn the shaping and the morphing, but it's very doable. For value, I will be giving this kit a 4 out of 5. You do get a lot of clay and a cool little tool, but the designs and the paint were not included. But for $12, I think it's a pretty good deal. Overall, I'm giving this kit a 3.5 out of 5. I think it was a good kit, and I would recommend it because I think it's pretty beginner friendly. If you enjoyed this video, let me know. I plan on making more content just like this. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.